Hey everybody, welcome to Falcon Plays Duskers, episode number 1. I've been keeping my eye on this game for a while now, and by my eye I do mean both of them and not a Cyclops. And I cannot be more thrilled about this game. It's, if you want a little bit of a rundown, imagine yourself waking up in this, spaceship. All of civilization, all of the galaxy itself is essentially now a giant graveyard. The only thing under your command is going to be a few drones that you actually operate and control through your spaceship itself. You are not in the drone, so they're going to be going through different type of derelict spaceships that they find throughout the universe itself, because you're trying to survive, trying to find some more scraps. It's, in a sense, it plays out a little bit like a survival space horror exploration roguelike game. You'll see more about it as we go in here, but just giving you a little bit of a rundown for now. And you control these robots from your own console command from the spaceship, so they'll be going through these spaceships based on every single command you give them themselves. So it's not really you in there, it's a drone. If I could even compare this game to anything, it would probably be something like Aliens. So the whole isolation thing, which by the way is not supposed to be a pun, although it apparently kind of is now. The whole isolation thing with the whole alien setting, amazing. But instead of talking more about it, let's show you exactly what I mean. So let's get into play game. It's going to generate a galaxy for us. And this right here, what's really cool about this, as a matter of fact, is that you really don't use your mouse for this game whatsoever. You honestly control it with your keyboard alone. And everything over here has a little bit of a different key involved with it. So for instance, if we see drone configuration up top, it says D. I got a D for you right here, buddy. No, but really. We can come over here to check out our drones. Right now we have 3 of them to our name. We have Rick, we have Sarah, and we have Jeremy. These will all be, obviously randomly named for you. So right now our quote-unquote spaceship is indicated by that blue arrow that you see over here in the map. The green one's going to be our very first location, which we'll be inspecting, which happens to be called Cackles 2. Now, what's really cool about this, and I really enjoyed so much, remember that I mentioned, it's kind of like you wake up and you have no idea what's happened to humanity, or civilization, or the universe in general, and you want to find out what's going on here. So we're going through all these spaceships and trying to find, resources to keep ourselves alive. But in the process of doing that, you actually find reports much like this, and they'll be all randomized, by the way. A lot of these will have a lot of corruption involved with them, meaning you won't be able to read them too well. So for instance, we have scan report number 2. I just realized I should probably order these messages. It's unlikely they'll be found in, and there you go, part of the corruption right there. Plot, of course, to intercept. If anyone is out, corruption, a steady course, but it's tough with these ships drifting. And again, as we kind of go forward, this is not the first time I've seen Captain Gene Vogel, by the way, so I have a feeling that if you survive the longer and longer you do, you'll probably be able to piece most of these together and really find out what happened to our galaxy itself. That's actually really cool, I really like that. This right here is going to be your main interface when you're in a spaceship itself. We could actually commandeer our drones with the console command over here in the lower right corner. But if you want a better look at it, which we all probably do, I could zoom in over here and be like, boomski, right here. We control all 3 of our drones, and we could do this manually, by the way. For instance, Rick, I can move him about with my arrow keys. So right now we want to open up this very first door. This will be our airlock, by the way, so if we zoom out, we can imagine that where we're at right now is our spaceship and we've docked. The door to R3 is open, but we don't know what's in there. Could there be something bad in there? More than likely there isn't, though, because the door's open, so had there been something in there, it'd probably already attack us, so we should be fine. Now over here, though, we did find a generator plug, which we need to actually power up to get the rest of the power flowing in the space station that we're at. Right now, as you can see, nothing's powered on, which is indicated by the gray outline of the rooms, and the doors D3 and D2. We need to actually power this up. Now, the problem is that Rick does not have a generator ability. He only has stealth and gathering. So we can gather over here a bit, though, because we did find some scraps. So Rick, meanwhile, you will gather stuff up. I'm going to swap over to Sarah, who happens to be our generator. Now check this out. If you want to commandeer them a bit more automatically, especially for, say, if I wanted her to come from here all the way to R3, for instance, so I don't want to do that myself and just manually commandeer there, I could just be like, navigate, drone number 2, to room R2 is where we're going right now. And this will be automatically done by itself, and I give him my command. I could swap over to Jeremy now, give him a command, swap back over to Rick, give him a command. So you could definitely automate most of this as you go along, which is really, really fun and the charm of this game, I would want to say. So Sarah's here, which is great. I need her to power up this room now to get some more power going onto the station, so we'll go generator, and she'll power everything up. And we zoom back out over here, R3 and R2 is now lit up, R4 and R5 so as well, and then as you can see, D3, D2, and D5 have now been powered up, so we could definitely go through those doors now. Great. Now, Jeremy, you have tow and interface. We haven't really talked about Jeremy just yet. Interface lets you kind of interact with different consoles that you'll find on spaceships, assuming you find any. And tow will let you actually take drones that you find in spaceships that have been disabled back to your own spaceship, fix them up, and then use them as part of your party. Now, if they've been destroyed, you cannot take them back with you. It only works if they've been disabled. Oh, speaking of the devil, we actually have one right here. Who is this supposed to be? What's your name, Wally? Oh no, Wally! Oh no. It's Wally from the cartoon or the animated film, whatever you want to go with here. Well, this guy's been destroyed. You can tell by the X on him, so we cannot take him back with us, but if we hit swap, I could find out what Wally had on him. He was a gathering robot or a drone. So what I could do now is pick up Gatherer, hit it to my bar. Now, what's really interesting about this is that we have Jeremy and Rick who happen to be gatherers now, so we have more than one that actually picks stuff up as we go forward here, which isn't too bad. Now, one of the biggest skills that I'm looking for early on is going to be motion. With motion, you'll be able to actually find out the motion of other rooms before you even enter them, meaning you could actually scope out if a room that you're going to has any sort of enemy or any danger in it before you even go into it and kind of plan ahead of it. So motion is a really, really good skill to have early on, but right now, unfortunately, we didn't find it, nor that we start off with it. So I'm going to go ahead and take Jeremy into this room, and hopefully there's nothing bad in here. We found a door, and no, I think we're fine. Oh, we found some possible fuel to jump to another galaxy, and we found some scrap. Luckily, Jeremy is now a gatherer, so I can do gather all. And meanwhile, when he does that, I'm going to have Rick just come in through door D3. And I'm being a bit more uncautious about this now because I know for a fact that the very first spaceship will not have any enemies, but you know, future ones you might want to be careful about what you open up and take your time doing it. So Rick, you go ahead and gather over here as well, and Sarah's still powering up. Jeremy is done with the gathering. Great. And I do believe we're done in the very first spaceship, yeah. In case you haven't figured it out, the game will tell you like, hey, idiot, you're done, get on out of here. What's really cool about this, if you don't want to commandeer everybody one by one back to the airlock itself, I could go ahead and do a mass command over here. So I could do navigate, drone 1, 2, 3, over to R1, which happens to be our airlock, and everybody's going to go by themselves on their own accord back home. And that's going to be no longer powered up, meaning the rest of the spaceship lost power. But again, we're done here, the doors are open, so it's not a big deal. And there you go! Back to the airlock. Let's get you guys on out of here. My lovely drones, Rick, Jeremy, and Sarah. Let's see what we found over here. We found 4 scrap, we survived for 1 day, and we got the Gatherer skill for Jeremy now. Mind you, it's not attached to him. I could definitely move some of these skills around as we want to go forward here. But we could do that from the drone configuration if I'm correct. Now, the problem is here that Sarah is going to be the generator, meaning, for the most part, she'll be just kind of attached to a generator plug and just powering up the spaceships or the stations that we'll go to. So she doesn't really need any more skills, maybe something defensive down the line. But for now, she's fine. I think that having Gatherer on both Rick and Jeremy is alright. I mean, it's not the greatest thing, but at least we have 2 different people that actually, or not people, but drones that actually, you know, gather stuff for us going forward. I really want motion. That's the most important one that I'm looking for. So for right now, we're not going to do any sort of a configuration. I think we're done over here. Modifications, we do have 6 scrap now, which we could probably use to probably upgrade somebody a little bit here. And also, if we wanted to, we could actually upgrade some of our skills. For instance, stealth. We could go ahead and use up 5 scraps to make it last shorter, but recharges very quick. And we could also convert some of these abilities into scrap if we felt the need to do so. But I'm okay for the most part. I think everything here is fine, yeah. Drones, don't want to level anybody up, make them faster and give them more HP. Not really, no. I would probably say like making Rick a bit faster, but for 5 scrap, I'm going to hold off on any sort of upgrade early on. Alrighty, so right now, let's see, we have 6 propulsion, right? If we want to come over to Gygus Pharaoh 2, it's going to take us 2 propulsion to get over here. What about this one? Liulu God, I have no idea. Layla Jifes 2. This will be 2 more to jump over here and 3 to get over to Hoplite 2. Alrighty, and I think these actually have some enemies because it says Infestation Types 1. I haven't seen enemies in this game just yet, just because I really haven't played it beyond the tutorial and the very first spaceship, so at this point onward I'm running a bit blind, so I'm both scared about it, but at the same time really excited to see what the enemies could possibly be. But we're going to find out next time around because we're going to wrap it up here. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Leave a thumbs up, leave a like. The support does mean a lot. Duskers Episode 1. There's a lot more to come ahead for sure because I'm enjoying this game a lot already and I hope you guys are too. I will catch you next time.